Hi, this is Anita from the Dusty Roads. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about why China is a safe place for traveling with children and the 10 reasons why. I've lived in China, I've traveled China, spent a lot of time in China. I've traveled with my nieces and nephews there, and I can tell you that China is a safe place to travel with children. There's many reasons why, and let me explain some of the reasons why. One is that China has a relatively low crime rate. Yes, there is crime there. There is petty crime. There is pickpocketing there. There is that kind of thing. But as far as you being like attacked on the street with a gun is probably very low compared to a city like New York City or Chicago or some other places like that. The country has very strict laws and very effective enforcement. In fact, now China is known to have this new type of security or force where they can recognize people's faces, and they have this system as to whether they're good or they're bad. It's a public sort of numbering system. So I think people there are actually quite cautious. They're not going to get themselves in trouble. Maybe they might pickpocket some, or you might find some of that kind of thing. But it's really not going to be like some of the crime you find in major cities, especially around the world or in the United States. There is a respect for the police force there, meaning that the police do not mess around. The people do not want to get entangled with the police, and they just don't want to have those type of problems. So there is sort of this respect there going on with that. So that, of course, also helps with the lower crime rate. Children are generally valued and respected. Children are considered very valuable in a place like China, especially where they have the one China policy. So, the Chinese people tend to really like, value, and respect children. Today, China does have a lot of excellent healthcare facilities. Their healthcare is greatly improved over the years. Their hospitalization system has improved. And so the healthcare is actually good if something happens and that you need to get to medical care. They have a great transportation system. High-speed trains are phenomenal. If you haven't been on a high-speed train, I recommend you get on a high-speed train. They are absolutely phenomenal. They are great to go on. And they're, completely safe for children. Of course, if something's going to happen, it might be, the rush or the shove to get off the train or on the train or that type of thing. But generally speaking, things will be relatively safe as long as you keep an eye on your children. Today, China has a lot of clean and safe accommodations. In fact, in all the major cities and the tourist areas, you will find all the major hotels. So as far as accommodations go, there's a lot of great and safe accommodations. There's a lot of great family-friendly destinations. I mean, taking your child to the Great Wall is great. To the Terracotta Warriors is a great place. Going to see the pandas is great. And, there's safari parks there. Things like even if you want to visit Disneyland. So there's lots of child-friendly things that you can do within China these days. Especially since COVID, the Chinese have really emphasized more on hygiene and cleanliness. And that has become a lot more important to them because of the whole COVID pandemic. So you will find that a lot of the public places are a lot cleaner, and that places can be very well maintained, maybe even better than in some places like the United States or in Europe. There's a lot more cultural awareness and language support, than it would have in the past. Maybe more people are speaking English. They can speak a bit of English. And if not, there's these great translation apps that you can use to be able to get help. If anything's going to happen in China, it might be something like someone tries to scam you. They go a long way on a taxi ride, so you end up paying more for a taxi ride. China has had a lot of natural disasters, in the past. And so they're very, very cautious about that. They've really upgraded their response times and other things like that. So, families, so if you're a family, if you stick to the well-traveled tourist routes, you make sure that you follow you're being told to follow, then you should be fine. This is Anita from the Dusty Roads podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We sure do appreciate you being part of our community. We hope that you'll give us a thumbs up, that you'll subscribe. That really helps with the algorithm, and that you'll tell others about us. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you be part of our community. Thank you.